Hey there! Have you ever heard the story of a young man who rose from the shadows of his older brothers to become the wisest and wealthiest king in history? This is the story of Solomon, how he became king, his legendary wisdom, and the choices that defined his reign. It's a tale of ambition, divine plans, and lessons we can all learn from. So, let's dive in. Our story begins with King David, the warrior king of Israel. He was the same man who had faced Goliath as a boy and won. But now, David was old and frail, confined to his bed in the royal palace. His once strong voice had softened, and his hands trembled as he rested them on the covers. The question on everyone's mind was, who will sit on the throne after David? David had many sons, and while the tradition was to crown the eldest, this time was different. Years earlier, God had revealed that Solomon, the son of David and Bathsheba, would inherit the throne. But David's silence in his old age left room for trouble. Adonijah, one of David's older sons, decided to take matters into his own hands. He gathered his most loyal allies, including Joab, the commander of the army, and Abiathar, a priest. Together, they plotted to crown Adonijah king. In a secluded part of the city, a feast was prepared. Soldiers in gleaming armor stood at attention, while priests blessed the occasion. Adonijah, dressed in a regal robe adorned with gold, raised his arms as his supporters shouted, "Long live King Adonijah!" But this plan had one glaring flaw: it ignored God's will and David's promise. Nathan the prophet, loyal to God and David, learned of Adonijah's actions. He quickly sought out Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. In the quiet corridors of the palace, he warned her,
"If we do nothing, Adonijah will take the throne, and Solomon's life and yours will be in danger."
Together, they went to David. Bathsheba knelt beside his bed and said,
"My lord, didn't you swear that Solomon would be king? But now, Adonijah has declared himself king while you rest."
David, though weak, summoned the strength of a ruler. He called for Nathan, Zadok the priest, and Benaiah, his loyal commander.
"Take Solomon, anoint him with oil, place him on my royal mule, and declare him king."
Solomon was brought to Gihon, where Zadok and Nathan anointed him with sacred oil. Trumpets blared, and the people rejoiced, shouting, "Long live King Solomon!" The sound echoed through the city, shaking the very walls of Adonijah's feast. Adonijah and his followers froze, their laughter turning to fear. Adonijah fled to the altar, clinging to its stone for mercy. Solomon, showing wisdom even then, spared his brother's life, but warned him, "If you prove yourself loyal, you will live. But if not, you will die." With his throne secure, Solomon sought guidance from God. In a dream, God appeared to him, saying, "Ask for whatever you want, and I will give it." Solomon replied,
"Lord, I am young and inexperienced. Give me wisdom to govern your people and distinguish right from wrong."
God was pleased with Solomon's humility and said, "Because you asked for wisdom and not for wealth or power, I will give you both." Solomon's wisdom was put to the test early on. One day, two women came to him with a baby. Both claimed to be the mother. "How do you solve that?" Solomon ordered, "Bring me a sword. Let's cut the baby in half and give each woman a piece." The first woman agreed, but the second cried out, "No, let her have the baby. Just don't hurt him." Solomon smiled and said, "Now we know who the real mother is." Word of his wisdom spread like wildfire, and people came from far and wide to hear his judgments. One of Solomon's first acts as king was to strengthen ties with King Hiram of Tyre. who had been a loyal ally of David. Hiram provided cedar wood, skilled workers, and materials for Solomon's building projects. In return, Solomon sent Hiram wheat and olive oil from Israel's rich farmlands. Their partnership didn't stop there. Solomon built a fleet of ships and, with Hiram's sailors, expanded Israel's trade network across the Mediterranean and beyond. Gold, spices, and exotic goods poured into the kingdom, making it one of the wealthiest nations of its time. This trade not only enriched Israel, but also established it as a cultural and economic powerhouse. Solomon's greatest achievement was the Temple of God in Jerusalem. Built on Mount Moriah, it was a marvel of architecture and devotion. Skilled craftsmen carved intricate designs into cedar wood, and the walls were overlaid with pure gold. It took 7 years to complete. When the temple was finished, Solomon led a grand dedication ceremony. Thousands of sacrifices were made, and Solomon prayed, "Lord, may your eyes always be on this house." As he finished, a cloud filled the temple, the very presence of God, and the people fell to their knees in awe. News of Solomon's wisdom and wealth spread far and wide. One day, the Queen of Sheba arrived in Jerusalem, bringing spices, gold, and precious stones as gifts. She tested Solomon with riddles and difficult questions, but he answered them all with ease. Impressed, she said,
"Your wisdom and prosperity exceed everything I was told. Praise be to your God. Who has made you king?"
She left, marveling at all she had seen. But even the wisest man can make mistakes. As Solomon's wealth and power grew, so did his desire for more. He married 700 wives and took 300 concubines, many of whom worshipped foreign gods. To please them, Solomon built altars to their idols, turning his heart away from the God of Israel. This disobedience angered God, who said, "Because you have turned away from me, I will tear the kingdom from you after your death. For the sake of your father David, I will leave one tribe for your son." Solomon's kingdom, once so strong, began to face internal strife and external threats. Solomon ruled for 40 years, and during his reign, Israel experienced its golden age. But his later years were marked by spiritual decline and the seeds of division. After his death, his son Rehoboam took the throne, and the kingdom split into two, just as God had foretold. Solomon's story is one of brilliance and warning, a reminder that even the greatest wisdom and wealth are meaningless without obedience to God. As we near the end of Solomon's story, let's reflect on his incredible journey. It began with his father, King David, who united Israel, secured its borders, and made Jerusalem the heart of the kingdom. In his old age, David chose Solomon, the son of Bathsheba, to succeed him, despite the ambitions of his older brother, Adonijah. Solomon's reign was defined by humility and divine favor. When God offered to grant him anything, Solomon chose wisdom to lead his people. Pleased by his request, God gave him not only wisdom but also wealth and honor. His judgments, like the famous case of the two women claiming the same baby, and his achievements, such as the construction of the magnificent temple in Jerusalem, made his reign one of prosperity and glory. Yet, Solomon's later years were marked by compromise. His love for foreign women led him to stray from God's commands, building altars to their gods and allowing idolatry to spread. In the end, Solomon's life is a powerful reminder, even the wisest among us must stay faithful to God. His story is both a legacy of greatness and a cautionary tale for generations to come. Solomon's life teaches us 3 important lessons. First, wisdom is a gift from God and must be used wisely. Second, success without faithfulness to God doesn't last. And third, no matter how wise or powerful we become, staying humble and obedient to God is what truly matters. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this incredible story of Solomon, his rise, his reign, and the lessons his life offers us all. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future stories. Now, it's your turn. Drop a comment below and let me know what story you'd love to see next. I'd love to hear your suggestions. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. It's a story worth spreading. See you in the next one.